Join us every Friday on Clubhouse when I get a chance to talk with different scrap guys and gals throughout the country about issues affecting our industry. How you doing, Drake?
Good. Happy Friday, guys.
Happy Friday. So we'll wait for the rest of the guys to jump on and then we'll go from
looking
there.
at the weather reports down in Texas. Did you guys hear about that big car and truck pileup?
Yeah, in
People passed away?
Fort Worth.
Yep, I saw the video. It was unreal.
Yeah, my wife showed me yesterday. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, we're supposed to get some more snow, I think today and tomorrow. And we'll just kind of see how it goes. So, Drake, do you want to kind of explain to maybe Andy who you are?
Yeah, definitely. Good to meet you, Andy. My name's Drake.
Likewise.
I'm one of the co-founders of Rematter. I think my other co-founder, Wyatt's going to hop on in a second, but we're actually fresh out of college. We graduated from Stanford this past June and started Rematter. We create scrap software. We're trying to create modern software for the scrap industry. So we're working on it full time. Got a team of developers. First product handles container tracking and dispatching, and we're just scaling up to our scale ticketing modules, inventory management, sales orders, etc. And got in touch with Brett and Nick and just trying to get more involved with the industry. So that's kind of our background.
Nice.
Yes.
I was just pulled your website up and was checking it out right now.
What software are you using, Andy, over there?
So we are on the old school Scrap Dragon Classic.
Okay.
That we have been on for probably, 14 years or so. And, I've considered, not taking the time to do it, but I've considered switching. I like it. I would like to have the inventory. We don't use an inventory on it.
You don't use... you kind of broke up there. You don't use the inventory?
Yeah, sorry, I had a call coming in. Yeah,
okay.
We don't have the inventory module. We just have the buy side. And I wanted to upgrade an inventory module. It's just it's a considerable investment compared to what we have now, and just haven't taken that leap, I guess.
Gotcha. Looks like we got John Sacco in the room. Can you hear us, John?
Oh, I think you have to invite him up to...
Okay. I'll invite to speak.
Hear me?
There, now we got you.
Hey, Nick, how you doing, my man?
I'm good, dude. How you doing?
Good. I just Lindsay got me on this today, so I'm excited to be part of it. Don't know much about it, but
got it. Yeah, we're learning too. This is the second one that we've hosted, but we're learning how to utilize it, how to do it, and even how to see if there's anything there. And it's been nice. I've actually jumped on a few on the marketing side. I've just jumped on a few marketing ones just to listen. Just a bunch of people that know a lot more about that than myself, and I've got some good information. So I'm gonna try to do one of these every Friday is my goal, and see if just keep building out different scrap guys that join, and we could kind of. I thought I'll start maybe picking a topic every week that we could kind of discuss, and go forward.
what is it? What's today's topic?
I don't know. You can pick. Go ahead. What do you want to talk about?
Well, okay. Brett has been out there and telling everybody to stay calm on these markets on the iron side. We're almost halfway through February. Are we hearing any more on what mill demand is or anything to that effect?
Everything that I've heard from Brett, he talks to all the mills and all those guys a lot more than I do. But a lot of people sound like they're anticipating the market to come back in March, and the demand's still there.
Well, that's what's important, I think. The mill demand. Pricing is it's going to go up, it's going to go down. But I want to know mill demand exists, because if mill demand exists, that means they're going to buy our scrap up, down, or whatever. They're going to buy the scrap. It's when they stop buying scrap is when we all got issues.
Yeah, and then I think with China and India coming back into play a little bit harder, which could be a lot harder here soon, I think that's going to really change the game, kind of back to how it used to be. So.
Well, the dollars, I follow the dollar, obviously, for what I do, but, a weak U.S. dollar tends to have a higher scrap market, and obviously, for obvious reasons, they can buy our scrap for cheaper. And the euro to the dollar is 120 right now, 120.5, something like that. These are good levels. I would think we have good overseas demand with the levels that we're at with the dollar being this. It's not 110 like it was a year ago. It's 120, 121.
Yeah, and with all this money getting printed, the stimulus is coming out, them talking about a third stimulus, like that's just going to decrease the dollar even more. And then, so, that's just going to help commodities pricing at least. It might, now that if it's good for our nation, that's a whole different conversation. I really like to just kind of focus on the commodity side, the scrap side, But
well, agreed. Look, the political side, good for the nation, good. It's way above my pay grade. All I know is if steel mills are wanting to buy scrap, and the demand's still there, that means they're selling new steel. So if they're selling new steel, that means something's going right. So something's in the positive here.
So I had a meeting with one of our bigger rebar customers this week, and their prices are just going crazy, And usually, typically, you see rebar fluctuate with the scrap market. It's pretty spot on, up 20, down 20. They usually follow each other. But he didn't see any decreases in February when we saw, $60 decreases. So.
Well, no, because you got to figure, Nick, that the scrap that these mills have on the ground, they bought. Here we are, mid-February. They bought in late December, January. So they bought at a higher level, even though the market has come off a bit. They still got pretty strong values in which their raw material cost is. So.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I don't see it wrong, but again, to me, it's all about demand. The high demand, good for everybody.
Yeah.
So who else is here on this call? I'd be curious to see the regions, if anybody else has got any insight to what they're hearing in the regions who are on this clubhouse.
Well, I think, Andy, if you want to kind of introduce yourself to John, maybe you two already know each other, but tell us what you're hearing over and where you're from.
Sorry about that. I had to figure out how to get it off. Get my mic. I'm new to this. Yesterday, I was on Nick for a second for the first time, and it's all new to me. But John, I'm in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. We're about 60 miles north of Nashville, Tennessee. And we're hearing kind of the same Nick was saying. We're hearing that it's be up next month. They're talking up $50 or so we'll wait and see.
Well, that's now okay. They're talking up. Is that because they are in the scrap? Is a scrap shortage?
Yes, to my understanding, that is what they're saying. That they're not getting quite what they need. And we've got weather's affecting us down here. We're gonna, we've got bad weather this week and looking at 8 to 10 inches of snow going into next week. And that's just, I know in a lot of the areas that doesn't affect as much, but it cripples us. So I think the next week and a half or so, the flow's really going to be off.
Yeah, and we're finally getting some weather up here in the Pacific Northwest too. They're anticipating a lot of snow the rest of this weekend, next week even, and we haven't seen any weather really this winter. So, and from talking to Brett earlier, the Great Lakes finally froze over, so that's going to affect the flow to to certain mills in that area. So I think the demand's there. I think obviously I think January probably had a really good flow because the price kind of went crazy, like some ups we hadn't seen in a long time, and then they put the brakes on it. And I personally think a lot of yards throughout the nation, they're shipping some loads, but I think they're kind of sitting to wait to see what March, April brings, if they have the space and they don't necessarily need the cash flow. I think people feel like it shouldn't have gone down, and because of that, people are sitting. I mean, you just look at like copper. Copper's just going crazy. Like with the levels of like the non-ferrous, what they're doing, and then you take iron off that much. I mean, it doesn't make a lot of sense to a lot of scrap guys, I think. Now, if it...
Well,
go ahead.
Yeah, Nick, no, I would concur with you. But again, there's some of these crazy momentums out there that I can't quite put a finger on right now.
Yeah.
Certain stuff, take different types of tech stocks, oil stocks, whatever. Some things got a lot of momentum, and they're bucking trends. In other words, if you think certain things would be going up, but their partner over here not. So, we got copper at strong levels, which was fantastic, but we're not seeing the iron. When the iron softens, it's kind of like, how does that go hand in hand? So I'm with you. So I don't know. It's getting above my pay grade.
Yeah, same here. I mean, I just, we adjust with the pricing and we always make it work. You get in situations right now in our area where a lot of people have been sitting on some good lots of iron to get ready to get cleaned up, waiting for guys like us, scrapyards, to come in there with equipment to clean it up, get it in there, and and we had a few things where we were able to take care. We were able to take care of a lot of customers in January and get them that up pricing. And, and how that worked, though, is we had some leftover inventory that we took a hit on, but that's the nature of the beast. That thing works both ways. Sometimes, you get an up month and you're stuck with the inventory, so it all, got worth, 2 cents more a pound, 40 a ton or whatever it was. So it's just what we do as scrappers, scrapyard operators, owners, And I actually met your brother, John, and does he run your scrap side?
Yeah, Philip, he trades all our metals.
Yeah, so he's
one of the best metal traders I've ever met, and it's not just a compliment because he's my brother.
Yeah,
he's really good at it. He trades. He's a heck of a trader of metals, and I sometimes watch in awe how he trades.
Yeah, he seemed like a great guy. I only got a chance to really hang out with him for about an hour when Brett was sitting down with his son to do a podcast,
Right.
So I just kind of showed him around, but he seemed like he knew his way around a scrapyard pretty well. So.
Oh, he does.
Yeah.
Oh, he does. Trust me. No, he does. What's really cool about this, Nick, I got to compliment you, this Talk with Scrap. Look, conversations, it's hard. We're here, we're like, I think, Andy, great feedback. I love that feedback from you. I mean, this is great information and incredibly timely where you get people together like this. I got to compliment you, Nick. This job well done.
Thanks. I would just hope to keep building it. I reached out to, him. I reached out to Mikey Foon, and I think he just couldn't make it today. But one thing that's interesting about this clubhouse, though, it only works for people with iPhones. Like, so that's like, I had...
You mean some people don't have iPhones?
Apparently. I had Brad Rudover, the owner of Detroit Scrap. He wanted to join. Yeah, Brad. He wanted to join, and he would have been great on here, but he couldn't get on there because of Android. And this thing's still in beta, this clubhouse, but I think what they're doing is pretty cool. Like, I was cleaning my garage this last weekend. I just put my earphones in, and I listened to one where they were talking about TikTok marketing. And, like, it was just cool. Like, I just went in there. They had a bunch of experts on it. and you just hear like some honest, real feedback. And I think that's where this thing's cool. And I think for the scrap industry, I think it could be cool if we got, 20 guys in the same room, or we could get like some honest feedback and hear what everyone's hearing, and we might all I think it just makes the industry stronger. So that's my goal with it. I think for episode 3, I will try to maybe start to pick a topic in the title, so we can kind of get some direction on that episode.
Well,
So
I'm with you. Okay. Markets are always big. I mean, let's talking about safety, talking about insurances.
Yep.
Safety is always a big conversation. Although on the Sierra, my podcast, Pile of Scrap, 2 worst episodes we've produced are the ones on safety. It's like people don't want to hear it, or they already think they know enough about safety. I can't figure those are my two worst episodes.
But that would be it'd still be a relevant conversation to have on here, like do a safety episode. Everyone could kind of talk about the steps they've done to increase their safety and keep everybody safe. The last thing you want to see is someone who's working their ass off for your company that they get seriously hurt, or heaven forbid, lose a life, man. So that's where safety is important, because what we do in scrapyards every day is not the easiest, and if you don't know how to do it the right way, you're doing it the wrong way, which is unsafe. So
Andy, I'd like to hear from Andy about what his opinion on that. What's your thoughts, Andy?
My thoughts are we need to have a talk with you and Brett about the marketing and y'all's videos. They're awesome. I'm always watching them on Instagram and TikTok and all the different things that I'm more of a watcher and not a participant on as much. But
you just gotta
really cool.
You just gotta go do it, Andy. Just go create it. That's the secret.
I guess the quality of them is what I like.
Even that, we gotta over here at United, we've got an in-house team that helps with the back end, the editing. With some of the editing and stuff like that.
Yeah, Andy, that's a great topic. I'd love to call if we set it up, Nick. And you're 100% right, Nick. And Andy, when he says you just, you like to watch it, see it, but I believe people like you, Andy, need to be out there every day. Is we have to make sure people understand that the real environmentalists in the United States are those processing materials as raw materials. The message, what you do in your local area, what you do for the country, what you do for the environment as a whole, the more people who are out there saying it, the more likelihood somebody who's a regulator, legislator, might see it and say, oh, okay. And then they come to us. We have to lead the discussion. We can't be coming in from behind. We have to be out in front of that discussion. So instead of trying to get in deep detail on it, Andy, on this call, Nick, I'd be happy to help work with you in respect to when you schedule this one to talk about the marketing.
Yeah.
And not only he's pretty persuasive too, because he's helped creates the content for Sierra, but he also our brainstorming sessions are crazy, but in the end, Andy, I would submit this question to you. If you don't promote your industry, your business, who is?
And I kind of lost you for a minute. John, did he bring up Darren Doan? Getting him in on that? Yeah, I would love that. I don't know when, but maybe when we get a little bit bigger following on here, I'd love to do like a marketing episode for the scrap industry. So.
But Andy, go ahead and ask. You mean garbled? I apologize.
No, I just saying, and I think I wasn't really sure if Nick or Brett who United stuff, but I think it looks really. I think your videos do as well. So I think
We all
kind of lead a discussion
over here. We all kind of contribute. Brett's a great creator. A lot of that stuff you see from Brett is just him. Like that's just coming straight from him. So a lot of that he's making. I mean, he's the owner of the company, and he goes there. He kind of sets the bar for the rest of us. We're like, shit. If he's doing it, we might as well. And don't get me wrong. We have a great team of people that help create that content. Marissa is creating some beautiful content for us. So we got Sage editing our videos. So it's not, but at the beginning, it was just us. Like, I did the purchasing for the company, and I've kind of helped with the marketing. But now we're kind of going, kind of like you, John, we're going all in, man. Like, we're just going all in, and we're finally, like, putting the money towards it. So I think that would be an awesome episode to get Darren Doan or Dave Ranke on there. Dave Ranke's listening right now. He helps with a lot of our back end, our Google Analytics. He helps with our Google AdWords, and he's awesome. So he'd be a good guy to get on there too, because he does a lot of the paid ads, and he's been doing it so long. He knows what he's doing. And his stuff's awesome. So, like, and those are all guys that just help us do what we do. And I love getting the exposure out there because I love what we do. And I believe what we do. And one thing that's so good about what you're doing, John, is, like, you're helping create a better narrative, like, where people don't just think we're a nuisance to the community, where we're, like, the crooks. Because that's what rubs me the wrong way, like, to truly be a recycler, you got to get down and dirty and do some stuff people aren't willing to do. And it's not doing anything wrong, but it's showing people the truth about recycling. It's not about putting a bumper sticker on your car and putting your plastic bottle in the right bin. There's so much more to it, So.
You know what, Nick? If we could just get people to put the bottle in the right bin would be the step in the right.
That would be a start.
Yeah. I was in Texas yesterday at Balcones Resources. They're a great customer of Sierra's, one of the premier MRF operators in America, if not in the world. They've got the most incredible state-of-the-art optical sorters and screens for sorting all the single-stream waste for the blue bin.
Yeah.
Recycling in America is dramatically low on a percentage. For every ton of PET produced, I think we're in the low 20 percentile of what is recycled.
Yeah, well, I would believe that. Yeah.
So I mean, these are great topics. So Nick, I just would submit to you, hey, you know how to get hold of me, buddy.
I got you.
Bring some topics and work and collaborate. This is your gig. I mean, I love it talking scrap. I wanted to chime in and check this thing out. I kind of like this format. I can see it.
I think it's cool. I literally have an iPad hooked up to a Yeti mic right now, recording it, because we haven't been able to figure out how to record it and put it on other platforms. So we're figuring that out too. I think the first step, though, John and Andy and anyone else listening on here, like, if you know any scrap guys that would like to join, not even just, they don't have to speak, but if they want to listen, just come check it out. I think that would help. I think you can make this thing really cool and really big for the whole scrap community. So, and then, yeah.
I think it would be worth you or I making a post about it in that Scrap Chat Facebook group that I put together.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
I kind of had the same idea along the lines of what you're trying to do here. It doesn't seem like it's really caught on. But I know there's quite a few members in there, so it may be worth a post in there to get some attention.
Yeah, I'm going to put this together, piece the audio with some video, release a portion of this where we can share and maybe build some traction. And maybe Clubhouse will work on letting Android users in so we can get some of our Android people some love. So, yeah.
That's funny. Well, listen, you know what? The great start for me. I'm going to jump. Guys, really, Andy, good talking to you. Nick as well, and anybody else. Hey, I like this. This is up my wheelhouse. I mean, I enjoy a conversation. I enjoy hearing from people. And you know what, Andy? I got to tell you, your commentary, even though you kind of want to be a listener, I got to be honest with you, man. That was so great to hear. So insightful to what's going on, because everybody's in different regions. Hell, if we all know what's going on, how does that hurt us? And I appreciate you getting out there and saying what you did and being part of this. And Nick, man, to you, Brett, God bless for you guys. Getting out there. I'm new to this too, but I can see where it'll be awesome, and I'm in. So, Nick, you know how to get a hold of me, buddy.
Yeah,
I'll be willing to help work with you when you have another session. And
I'm going to try every Friday. I don't know if it'll always be at the same time, but I kind of like this 1:30 time. This is 1:30 Mountain Time. I think that's a fairly...
I'm right in the middle of my lunch, but hey, who cares?
Perfect. You're sitting down eating anyway.
Well, right on. Hey, again, Nick, thanks. I'm out. Andy, to you, thank you, man. I really appreciate your insight, my friend.
Yes, sir. Thanks a lot. It was good talking to you.
All right, you guys.
All right. Thanks, John. All right, everybody else. I think we covered a few different topics today that affect our industry, and we'll just keep going every Friday and just see where this thing goes. I think I'll put something together, and feel free to do it too, Andy, that we'll put in that scrap chat to see if we can get more people for next Friday. Okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right.
We tried to get Mikey Foon to download the app, but he was having some issues. So hopefully he'll be able to work it out next week. We can get him on.
Oh, me and you were both hounding Mikey Foon today. So, yeah.
That's awesome.
I shot him a text. I tried to get him on 2 weeks in a row. He's got such a great following, and I love his Instagram stuff. And I like he knows the industry so well. I think he'd be a good voice for this as a speaker. So.
Totally. Yeah, we work with Mikey, and he's a ton of fun to work with. He has great insight.
Yeah, I agree. All right, guys. Well, let's do this again in a week. Okay.
Sounds good.
Thanks, guys. Bye.